October 12th, 2000. Bin Laden operatives attacked the USS Cole. The FBI, which investigated that attack, learned that a bin Laden follower, Khalid, was the principal planner of the Cole bombing, and that two other participants in the Cole conspiracy had delivered money to Khalid at the Malaysia meeting. Now, the FBI told the CIA about those facts. That information came from the FBI to the CIA. CIA went back, reviewed the facts that they had about the Malaysia meeting again. And as a result of that review, in January of 2001, the CIA determined that Khalid had actually been at the Malaysia meeting and that Mihdhar and Hazmi, then, they knew, you knew, had been involved with the planner of the Cole bombing. Actually been with the planner of the Cole bombing at the Malaysia meeting. CIA again failed to put either Hazmi or Mihdhar on the watch list or to notify the FBI that Hazmi was in the United States. And my question is, do you know who was responsible for that failure?
Sir, can I take you back on
Sure.
the facts for a moment? First of all, in terms of the identification of Khalid, actually it was the FBI who provided the information to us because we were in a joint meeting at the time at a third country because we were running a joint case with somebody who identified Khalid. And indeed, in January of 2001, the legal attaché from this third country writes messages to both our headquarters that after having been shown the surveillance photos of Kuala Lumpur, he made an identification of Khalid.
I think that's
so at that point, sir, both the CIA and the FBI know that Mihdhar was in Malaysia and that in this time period, and that Khalid was in Malaysia at this time period as well.
Now that's irrelevant to my point. What you did not notify the CIA of at that point.
No, the FBI.
Excuse me, but you did not notify, thank you, the FBI of at that point is that you knew that Hazmi was in the United States.
That's correct, sir.
That's January now of 2001, another failure.
Sir, there are three instances, as I note in my testimony, on three separate occasions.
I know. My question, do you know who was responsible to notify the FBI at that time?
I don't, but I will find out for you.
Max. In January 2001, a joint FBI-CIA source identified Khalid in photographs of the Malaysia meetings. Because the FBI ALAT, who was involved in the handling of the source, Max, he was unable to speak any of the joint source's languages. A CIA employee conducted the debriefings of the source, including the debriefing in which the source identified Khalid. We concluded here at the joint inquiry, at the FBI Inspector General, that Max was not informed of the source's identification of Khalid from the Kuala Lumpur surveillance photographs, either at the time of the identification or afterwards. Although CIA cables covering the debriefing described the identification of Khalid, these were not shared with Max. Instead, he saw CIA TDs that did not contain the information about the identification. CIA documents do not indicate that the ALAT was informed of the identification. No other evidence indicates that the ALAT knew. We found that the ALAT included detailed descriptions in his reports of other information from the source, which indicates he was not provided the information about the identification of Khalid. We also found that the New York FBI agents who interviewed the source in February of 2001 were not informed of the identification of Khalid. In sum, we believe the ALAT did not learn about the source's identification, not that he knew about identification, but failed to share this information with others. We believe, as the ALAT, Max should have been more familiar with the CIA's reporting process. He was not aware that the CIA's TDs contained only a part of the information obtained during the source debriefings. although our review revealed that many FBI employees operated with misunderstandings about the ways the CIA recorded and reported intelligence information. Significant function of the ALAT position is to interact with the CIA. Had he recognized that he could not rely on TDs for full reporting about the source's information, he could have asked his CIA counterpart directly for any additional information from the source, and the ALAT may have learned about the identification of Khalid. In addition, given Max's concern that he provide FBI headquarters with all the information reported by the source, it would have been prudent for him to consult with the CIA case officer and ask sufficient questions to ensure that he had received all the information. We found no indication that he did so. Donna, the FBI analyst who worked on the investigation of the Cole attacks, planned a June 11, 2001 meeting with the Cole investigators and CIA employees to discuss information relating to the Cole investigation. She deserves credit for organizing this meeting and seeking to share intelligence information with the Cole investigators. However, we fault her performance in two respects. First, we found that the meeting was poorly planned. Donna did not clearly communicate the purpose of the meeting to the participants. Donna also failed to obtain significant information prior to the meeting that could have been shared with the investigators about the Malaysia meetings. After the meeting, although Donna devoted a significant amount of time to the Cole investigations, she did little specific follow-up to provide answers to the investigators about their logical questions regarding the Malaysia meetings. We believe she did not do all she could to acquire that information for the New York agents, even though she had said that she would as a result of their discussion at the June 11 meeting. As a result, the FBI missed another opportunity to focus on Khalid al-Mihdhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi earlier than it did. When Donna finally learned from Mary on August 22, 2001, that Hazmi and Mihdhar were in the United States, Donna quickly and appropriately took steps to have the FBI open an investigation to locate them. She personally called the New York bin Laden intelligence agent and told him about the matter. This was an unusual step to call the agent directly, and it suggested that the investigation should be given some priority. However, when she sent the electronic cable to New York, she designated the electronic cable as having a routine precedence. Donna's actions indicated some urgency in the need for the investigation, yet the subsequent electronic cable did not convey any urgency. The New York field office assigned the case immediately, and the agent began working on the case within 2 business days of the assignment. If the electronic cable had conveyed urgency, the New York field office of the FBI might have assigned additional or more experienced agents to locate Khalid al-Mihdhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi and indicated the search sooner.